coffee guy here. Already did part one where we watched the video. Roscoe is explaining his interpretation of what Kaze's tried to tell us. It's so far pretty good. He hasn't said anything that I don't disagree with. So still more to go. But I did a deep analysis of this. I did 4 videos on this video. So I'd like to think I know more than the average person watching it for the first time. If not, then that's pretty sad. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, this is so gorgeous. Did anybody else think bonsai tree when we saw the hair here? I know there's one here also, but still. That is such a cool shot. We've got the butterflies in the jar. He pulls them out, lifting up the hair. What a nice touch. Yeah. Now, do we think that maybe this is representative of us in our earthen bodies as vessels? And then potentially this here is more of the celestial aspect, the heavenly aspect, you know?
If we're the butterflies.
All open to interpretation, of course. I love his voice so much. This was my favorite part of the song right here. Look at that lush, beautiful. And see, here's what's, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go on a limb here. I feel like this shot, there's a million ways we could interpret this. This could be the statue of a former deity, or a statue of a deity that was once worshipped and no longer is. Okay? Could be that. It could be this is the symbol of a society that is no longer at all. And yet this is the
only thing I remember from my videos that I did in a deep dive was that there's a third eye, and I forgot what that means. Sorry. I'm old.
Newly born world. Could be that. It could be that without this, regardless of what you put in this box as what it represents, that when things are simple and natural, they are more pure, they are cleaner, they are more real, if that makes sense.
Okay, I admit he has a lot more understanding on the first watch than I did, but that's okay.
Yeah, Moonlight, I want to say, I remember somebody talking, because I think he had a song called Perma, or there was Perma in something that we kind of deep dived of his.
I got to skip.
And I can't remember what it was, but it was something like, because the one that I always think of, aside from Shinanoga Iwa of his, which is my favorite of his, was Hana. And it was about death and rebirth, and it was just so beautiful. So, yeah, very, very nice. Let's see here. See, that's kind of interesting. Let's see if this continues to travel here. So let's real quick. Just hit this. This beginning of the scene will then trickle down to the previous. The earth laughs in flowers. I really love that. All right, so we get the tears here. Which then trickle down to this. And then trickle down to this. So here's what's kind of interesting. I'm gonna theorize something. Let's say this part right here represents us now on Earth. Okay? If this and this trickles down to us, let's say, we got to go back. It trickles down from here. Let's say this is the top tier right here. I mean, there might be one more, but for the sake of this is top tier. The tiers trickle down to what we generally consider as like top tier, which is heaven. And then that trickles down, right? So what I think is interesting is it could be interpreted that this heaven that we normally assume is like, it's heaven, right? There's one more level above that heaven, and I'm using this extremely loosely, heaven that's more of a pure representation of us where we are now. Now think about how deep that goes. That's extremely meta. So it's not as simple as we're here and we're just existing. And then there's heaven, which is perfect, depending on what you believe. This is going one step further and going that there's one level above heaven. And the real difference is that it's closer to us where we are now than this like ethereal kind of, I don't want to say magical, but abstract. You know what I mean? Like this is the spiritual realm, the spiritual plane. This is the all-knowing, right? And then this is us in the physical plane. And there's all kinds of theories. There's all kinds of different ways people think about it, right? But I do think that's, and that feels very, very Kaze to me. And how I would interpret this, if I were really, and I am, diving into this, I would almost take this as, let me get to it. This is not the goal. This is support. This is like, we have this access to spiritual realm, if you will. But this is the goal. And this is closer to reaching to where we are now. It's just some different decisions, right? It almost seems more accessible in a way. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could really twist this in a lot of ways, but as always, it comes down to interpretation and taking this and kind of getting what you think is the message that makes sense to you.
And research.
Actual heaven versus our idolized heaven. Yeah, I feel like that could be a piece of it. Yeah. If the old God, old society is higher than his beautiful Kame God, you've got to wonder what God society must. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Deeply influenced by Indian spirituality and Hindu philosophy, often describing India as his spiritual hometown. His work, I stopped reading it. Vegetarian. Sorry. Pizza. Sorry. Yep. Spiritual reflection. That's it right there. 2 words. Bingo. That feels very Kaze to me. Spiritual reflection. And for everybody on YouTube that's currently typing angrily, You don't have to be a religious person to be spiritual. Take this as the grumpy old man on your screen right now. There's a lot more to it. It just depends on you. That's it. Plain and simple.
Okay, if he's a grumpy old man, what does that make me? A grumpier older man?
Simple.
Oh, okay, I could have waited a second. It would have been done. All right. My wife's calling me. I gotta go.